What goes through the mind of a desperately thirsty man in the moments before he dies? As he struggles to swallow, does his life flash before him? And if it does, do the memories flow from one liquid scene to the next? What would the Jesus of John's Gospel remember? Imagine it. Drip. Jesus feels his hairy cousin's rough, wet hands laying him down into the cool water of the Jordan River. He's held strong and steady even as the water closes in over his head, and then he's lifted into air and light, soaked through with a new sense of identity and purpose. Drip. There's a tinge of exasperation in his mother's voice as she tells the servants, "Just do whatever he tells you." Away from the other wedding guests, huge vats are being filled with clean, clear water. And yet what emerges in the taster's cup is something sweet, something changed, something heavenly. Drip. In the dark of night by lamplight, the creases in Nicodemus's face look dry and deep. You make it sound easy, be born of water and spirit, but how exactly at my age? They both laugh at the thought of this aging honorable Pharisee, naked and newborn. They laugh, but what if? Drip. Her eyes were dark and playful and her tongue was sharp. You don't have a rope or a bucket, and this well is deep. Exactly where will you get that living water? Somehow he felt he knew her, and she knew him, each drawn to this ancient well, older than the memory of Jews and Samaritans. Drip. Hiding from crowds full of bread and fish and misguided messianic visions, he remembers how quickly the clouds gathered. His friends had waited, perhaps too long, and now they were on the sea at the mercy of the rising wind and rain. Even at a distance, he could feel their fear rising, and he did not hesitate. He plunged into the battering waves, moving toward them, and he called out, "Don't be afraid. I'm here." Drip. Kneeling, exposed, he offers his rough, proud followers one final lesson in love. He pours water over Peter's dusty, calloused foot, wiping it tenderly, skin to skin, drying it with the very towel that he's wearing. You don't understand what I'm doing right now, but you will one day. Gazing up, Jesus sees that Peter's no longer arguing. Now he's weeping. It is, after all, hard to understand. A life that overflowed with so much love, so much goodness, ending in grief and pain, and yes, unbearable thirst. But that is the strange, inevitable paradox of Good Friday, that the one who can bear grief and pain for the sake of love is the one we can trust to love us when we need love most. The Jesus who whispers through parched, dry lips, "I'm thirsty," is the one we can trust when he says, "Anyone who is thirsty can come to me." Amen.